Hi, everyone. This is Catherine here from the product marketing team at AHA. Welcome to today's tutorial on finding revenue driving ideas with the Salesforce Opportunity Report. Thank you for joining us. So as we wait for some folks to join, I'm going to launch a poll. Would just love to gauge your overall experience with the Salesforce Opportunity Report in Ideas Advanced. Now I'm excited to introduce our presenters. We have Kelly Siebes, the Principal Product Manager who oversees AHA Ideas. Kelly has extensive industry knowledge in idea management and has developed many of the features you love, from dynamic forms to AI exploration to none other than the Salesforce Opportunity Report. And we also have Gary Cohen, a Senior Product Success Manager here at AHA, who enjoys collaborating and sharing his insights with our customers on a daily basis. Gary has over 12 years of experience leading products across various industries, company sizes, and development methodologies. So we're excited to have him here with us today to walk us through everything that you can do with this new report. So let me close out the poll, share the results here. Alrighty, looks like many of you haven't had the chance to use the report yet, some actively using it, a few of you exploring the possibilities. So regardless of your experience level, you guys are all in the right place. You'll walk away from today's session with a data-driven understanding of which ideas are going to be able to drive revenue for your business. So let's jump in. Over to you, Kelly.
Hey, everybody. I am thrilled to be here. So today, we're diving into a question that many of us product managers ask ourselves when we are deciding if we should build a new feature. Would a customer actually be willing to pay for this? Of course, we want to delight our customers with exciting new features, but it's also important to balance that with business growth, whether it's bringing in new customers or expanding on existing ones. And if you have a sales team, then you're probably all too familiar with being asked to implement features that are critical to close an opportunity. And those insights are very valuable, and you absolutely want to know about them, but you also need to weigh that against your overall product vision so you can make informed decisions about what to build, supporting your long-term direction and driving revenue. This is not easy to do, especially if everyone has a different opinion. So I would be curious to know from you all, what has been your biggest challenge in this area, trying to balance, revenue driving ideas and long-term strategy? For example, is it just prioritizing, getting that data you need to prioritize? Is it aligning with the other teams on what those top features are? Or just even understanding the revenue impact of your roadmap? Managing stakeholder expectations is always a key one as well. And I'm sure there's other challenges as well. So please chime in, let us know. I think I've struggled with all of these at one point in my career. Awesome. Let's see. Cool. Well, not too surprising. Yeah. So prioritizing based on the data is challenging for a lot of you all, and then just understanding the revenue impact of the roadmap as well. Thank you so much for participating in the poll. And yeah, I've struggled with all of those, and luckily today we're going to talk about some solutions for that. So one benefit of using the Salesforce integration is that you can connect the opportunities in Salesforce directly to ideas in AHA. The opportunity report then enables you to combine those insights so you can, one, empower your product team to make informed data-driven decisions. Secondly, you can prioritize the ideas now that are most likely to help close opportunities and drive revenue. And then that critical piece, aligning with your sales team and other teams as well on which product ideas are going to make the most impact, ultimately fostering a more positive relationship between the two teams. So we believe it's important to find a balance between meeting customer demands and driving strategic growth, which you can definitely do effectively in AHA. So now to dive deeper into how you can leverage this powerful report, I'm going to hand it over to Gary to tell you what we're going to cover today. Gary, over to you.
Thanks, Kelly, for that great introduction. So we've structured this tutorial into three key sections. We have integrate, identify, and impact. First, we're going to cover how to integrate Salesforce with AHA Ideas, because this really is the foundation of the opportunity report. We'll also demonstrate how you can capture an idea on an opportunity directly in Salesforce. And this step is crucial to ensure data flows into the report seamlessly and accurately. Next, what we'll do is we'll focus on identifying key insights within the Salesforce opportunity report. So we'll explore each area and show you how to add custom fields. This section will provide you with deep insights into the revenue potential of your ideas. And then finally, we'll show you how to analyze the impact the ideas you implemented had on revenue, looking at both closed won opportunities as well as closed lost. And all of the features that I demo today are available as part of our Ideas Advanced plan. If you do not have Ideas Advanced and you're interested in learning a little bit more, please go ahead and type the word demo into the Q&A, and we can help set up some time with you to discuss your specific needs. So we have a lot to cover, so let's get started with the first section, which is integrate.
As we get ready for Gary's demo, let's quickly cover why connecting to Salesforce is so crucial. Now, your ideas drive innovation and growth. Continually taking in those ideas, feedback, or requests helps us product managers to understand what customers need and how to improve our products. But while feedback comes in through your portal, valuable insights often come in through your sales and support teams too, using their CRM tools. With the Salesforce integration, these teams can seamlessly create and view ideas directly in the tool they use, like in Salesforce, ensuring that no critical feedback is missed. And then you as a product manager inside of AHA Ideas, you can then see this feedback alongside customer details like their industry, their revenue, which you can use to inform your product decisions. The integration is bidirectional, so updates in AHA reflect back in Salesforce. That also helps keep sales and support teams aligned and customers informed. So the product teams I have talked to recently have told me how big a game changer this has been for them. Several specifically mentioned that they had salespeople that had each of them their own individual spreadsheet listing, what are the top ideas or new features that they've had. And that was just a nightmare to try to manage all those different spreadsheets from people. But now with it in AHA, they're able to quickly find the high value ideas. They can make sure they're not losing feedback, and they can make sure everyone is better aligned on priorities. So now I'm going to turn it over to Gary for the demo.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I can echo that this integration can be really beneficial for teams who are using Salesforce in order to capture valuable customer feedback effectively. Now, you can do a lot in terms of setup and customization of the integration to make sure that the right information is flowing back and forth between the two systems. I'm not going to cover all of that today. I want to focus on the parts of the Salesforce integration that need to be in place in order to use the opportunity report. Now, if you would like a full walkthrough of how to set up the Salesforce integration from start to finish, we have a full tutorial dedicated to that particular topic. So what we'll do is we'll pop a link of that recording in the chat, and our customer success team would love to walk you through it live as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to my account, and we're currently in my account settings where I have the Salesforce integration open. Now, it's important to note that in order to access this area of your account, you do need to be an administrator with customization permissions. Now, I'm going to head straight over to the Mappings tab over here, and this is where we'll talk through some of the key field mappings that you need to get the most out of your opportunity report. So here we can see that we have mapped our AHA organizations to our Salesforce accounts. This connection will bring that valuable data about your customers that's stored in Salesforce into AHA. And when I expand that field mapping, what you'll see is that we have examples of fields such as account name, account type, country, and email domain. And below that, I have proxy votes mapped to Salesforce opportunities. Now, a proxy vote lets someone vote on behalf of someone else. So in this context, it's your Salesforce user who's adding a vote to an idea on behalf of their customer. And these are super important for tying that CRM data together with the ideas. So I'm going to spend a bit of time showing you the mapping here, and then how you can set up a proxy vote form directly in your AHA Ideas account. Now, when I expand the proxy vote mapping, what you'll see is all of that data here about your opportunities that's going to be linked to each proxy vote. So when a salesperson is working on an opportunity and they add a vote to an idea that might help close a deal, you'll be able to know things like the opportunity amount, the close date, probability, the stage of the opportunity, as well as the name. And you don't have to leave AHA, you'll have all of that context directly here. So let's take a preview of what that experience would look like for newer folks working in Salesforce. So here you can see the proxy vote form is actually going to be asking the salesperson or the support rep to include some details about the importance of the request, its expected value. We even have a field for the description. These fields are all configurable in AHA. So what I'm going to do next is actually switch back to AHA so we can see how you can customize this proxy vote form that will appear in your Salesforce account. So back to my account settings, I'm going to go to the Customs Layout tab over here, and I'm going to find my proxy vote tab. This is where I can open out the layout for my proxy vote form. And here you can see all of the fields that I've added to the submission form to capture that important information from our sales and support team. In this example, we've made importance and value required fields. And if I drill a little bit more into that importance field, what you'll see is that this is a choice list. So my sales team have a choice from 3 levels of importance as they're submitting votes. We'll see this field come into play on the Salesforce Opportunity Report, where we can add another layer of insights. So now that we saw what this form looks like in Salesforce and how to add the fields to that form, I thought we can take a look at how that is actually added to a particular idea. So I'm going to navigate over to my ideas overview page. I'm going to take a look at some of the popular ideas that have been submitted. So let's go ahead and open up the most popular idea, compare writing patterns across different timeframes. And I'm going to go over here to the votes tab. Now, what you'll see over here is that this idea has 73 votes total. Now, they're a combination of votes from our ideas portal, but also proxy votes that were added to the idea by others on behalf of our customers. Now, this proxy vote table below gives us all of that data that we saw in the mappings, like the value, the importance, stage, and so on. So this will help us make informed decisions about which ideas to prioritize, and this data will feed onto the Salesforce Opportunity Report that we're going to look at next. So we went through quite a lot in this first section, so let me quickly summarize. First, we showed the field mappings for the Salesforce and the AHA integration. Then we saw what the proxy vote form looks like in Salesforce, and we dug into the details on how that form can actually be created in your AHA account. And then we witnessed the rich data that you see in AHA when proxy votes are added to an idea.
Thanks, Gary. That was an excellent overview of setting up those key pieces of the Salesforce integration and proxy votes in order to make sure you're capturing every valuable piece of feedback back inside of AHA ideas. So here at AHA, our own customer success team, Gary included, will frequently add proxy votes on behalf of our customers. This helps me to prioritize ideas during our roadmap planning to understand the real customer use cases and needs better. I was just recently doing a lot of research around a potential new feature we were going to add. And the proxy votes and all those related ideas were really crucial to helping me understand those real customer use cases from our CS team and helping me find those customers to talk to for more in-depth interviews too. So now let's talk about the common challenge that brought you all here today, which is identifying which of those ideas have the most significant revenue impact. So building software is expensive, as we all know. And so, we have to make really tough trade-off decisions. And one of the things I talked about at the start was this common question that I have to ask myself, and you probably do too, which is, will a customer actually pay for this new feature that we're considering? We have a lot of data inside of AHA that can help answer this question, like you saw in Gary's demo. But before, it would have taken some really advanced reporting skills to pull all that data together to help you answer these questions. So we set out to build a report out of the box that helped combine several pre-built views to help you really quickly identify those high impact ideas. So with the Salesforce Opportunity Report, you now have a data-driven view of which ideas will help you close opportunities and drive revenue. So now let's see it in action. Back over to you, Gary.
Thanks, Kelly. So you'll actually find the Salesforce Opportunity Report right under the ideas in your top nav, and it's under the research section, and it's labeled Salesforce. Now, as I open up this report, you can see right away that we have 3 key sections: opportunity value by idea stage, ideas by opportunity value, and an opportunities list at the bottom. So we're going to go through each view and talk through the data and the insights that you can gain from each one. So starting with opportunity value by idea stage, here we have the total opportunity value by workflow status. So as I hover over these bars, what you'll see is some additional data that pops up to show the 4 statuses as well as the opportunity amount. So this is where you can gauge the potential revenue across your product development process. Now, we have a high number and a high value of opportunity in planning to implement. This is great news because this actually represents the ideas that have already been promoted to features. So as each feature ships, we'll see that revenue potential move into the shipped status bar shown on the right. But we also do have even more opportunity in our future consideration stage. Now, these are ideas that the product management team has reviewed, but not yet prioritized. And if I click on this bar, we'll actually get a really handy pivot table that's going to include the ideas, the details about each of those opportunities. And what I can do with this pivot is I can actually use it as a list when I'm going through my roadmap planning. So if we're deciding on how we'd like to proceed with a particular idea, we can actually make a decision right now by clicking on that idea record and going ahead and changing its status or even promoting it to a feature on the backlog. Now, it's helpful to remember that status changes are reflected back in Salesforce so that your sales and your support team have the latest update on their customer ideas. Now, if we go back to our main chart over here, one other thing that you might have noticed is that we have a full report right at the bottom of this chart. This actually opens up the chart report. So if you wish to do further work on the data, you could update the colors, you could bring in additional data, and then even save this view and perhaps add it as a dashboard if you'd wish. Now, if we shift back to our Salesforce Opportunity Report, we can take a look at this section over here, Ideas by Opportunity Value. Now, this chart is great for spotting the ideas that will deliver the most value, both in terms of revenue, but also delighting many customers. Each dot that you see over here represents an individual idea. If a dot is further to the right, that indicates that the idea has multiple opportunities tied to it. And the further up it is, it indicates a higher opportunity value. That value, of course, could be combined by multiple opportunities for that particular idea. So let's go ahead and hover over the idea on the top right. Right away, we get some key details about the idea and the related opportunity. If I go ahead and click on that idea, we can actually see the full details view and we can start to take action. Now, in this details view, we can review our product value score. This is an objective measure of the potential value of this idea. So when I open it up, we can see that there's one of the factors that might be going into this overall score is the population impact of this idea. Now, since there are many votes and opportunities tied to this one, let's go ahead and increase the population as well as the need. And you'll see my score then updates. This way, we can consider whether to implement this idea based on both the objective value score, but also the opportunity value. Now, we do also want to pay close attention to some of the ideas that are on the left, but higher up on the list. So for example, this particular idea over here, dynamic training intensity, it needs review, but it's also tied to a big opportunity. So as a product manager, I would want to maybe take a closer look at this one and potentially consider promoting it to a feature. And as we saw with the previous chart, we do also have a view full report option over here. And again, this is where we get a pivot table with all of the idea details and their related opportunities in one view. Shifting back to our report, we'll have a look at the opportunities list at the bottom. And what you'll see right away is that we have 3 tabs, which allow you to explore the data more deeply. In top ideas, you can expand each row to really get a better understanding of the details of that opportunity. So similar to what we saw in the chart above, but with the individual opportunity data neatly organized. Now, you'll also notice that we have a column here for importance. This column is configurable, and you'll recall that we added this importance field to the proxy vote form that our sellers are required to fill in when they add an idea. Now, we can include it here, and we can start to gauge how critical an idea is for a particular deal. But if you go to the top we have a configure button over here, and that actually allows you to change this to another custom field. So let's maybe go ahead and change this to idea stage. Now, down on the opportunity section again, we see the details along with the stage. So what's great about this is we have a clear understanding of what stage the opportunity is in. You can choose what works best for your team, or you could switch between the two as you're evaluating each idea. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to importance. So far, we've been reviewing ideas and the volume of opportunities linked to them. But this largest opportunities list over here lets you take a look at it from a slightly different angle. So here you can expand each opportunity and review each idea that it is linked to. So this is really helpful to view with your sales team to understand which features are needed to close a deal. And what we have here in the last tab, shipped ideas, this is where you can start to connect those very important dots between revenue growth and the impact of features that you've recently delivered. So we'll cover this in a little bit more when we get to the impact section next. So we've gone through the full reports. We've assessed opportunities from all the different angles, and we went ahead and updated the product value score on an idea as we went along. Now, once you actually do this, you can go to the prioritization view to reassess all the priorities in one list. So let's switch over to the ideas prioritization list now. So we saw in the Salesforce opportunity report that we were looking at ideas through the lens of the opportunity value. In this prioritization list, it's a great way for you to review all of your ideas based on that objective product value score. So you can sort by product value, and you can also bring in those important fields like the opportunity amount. So you can easily review these ideas with both data points in mind. Now, quick pro tip, this is also a great way to score a large group of ideas all at once. So you could imagine that an idea might have been brought in, it needs review. You could expand this product value column over here to adjust the scores. And then when you're ready, what you're able to do is actually open up the idea details right over here and promote the top ones to become features. That's just really helping to move your plan forward efficiently. So we've actually covered quite a bit in this section, starting with the opportunity value by idea stage chart, the ideas by opportunity value chart, then the opportunities list that provided additional details, and lastly, how you could use all of those insights to make prioritization decisions. I'd love to switch back over to Kelly. I'd, for one, love to hear your perspective on how to get the most out of the Salesforce opportunity report in terms of evaluating impact.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. It was a great, very detailed walkthrough of the report. This report really has been a game changer for product managers to truly help them connect their roadmap with those opportunities. Now, to get the most out of it, I recommend customizing the report to help you answer specific questions like which ideas are tied to lost opportunities, or what was the impact of those ideas that we shipped. As PMs, we often want to understand that impact of the choices we're making, good and bad. And this helps us to, one, celebrate the value of what we delivered and also know what to do differently. This is a really important step to demonstrate that value across the company and use it also to help guide your future roadmap decisions. And also, of course, build stronger relationships with your stakeholders and sales teams as well with this objective data-driven approach. Over to Gary now to show how that kind of customization is done.
All right, thanks, Kelly. So yeah, as we saw in the previous section, there's so much goodness here in terms of helping you identify high-value opportunities and guiding your prioritization decisions. So what we're going to do in this section is cover how you can monitor the impact of those opportunities while your roadmap's underway, as well as review revenue delivered and reflect on any deals that perhaps were lost. So first, let's cover how you can monitor opportunities as you implement your roadmap so you can stay responsive to your customer needs. By default, all opportunities are included in your report, both open and closed ones. So in this case, we want to perhaps look at the open deals. So let me show you how you can actually go ahead and add a filter, and we'll go ahead and filter by stage. What I can then do is I can select all of the stages that indicate the opportunity is still open. So we can instantly see that there is significant opportunity value between the three idea stages: needs review, future consideration, and planning to implement. And we can also go down to the opportunities table and get into those details. Now, we could also add another filter, and I'm thinking we should add one for importance. So what we'll do is add that over here. And we particularly want to see which of the ideas are perhaps going to be blockers for any of our open deals. So we can select those filter options. And right away, you can see that there are less ideas represented in the report, but these are the ones that are still open and of the highest importance. So you can start to consider these ideas as the ones that have the biggest impact and the highest likelihood. Now, let's take a look at how much revenue we delivered. What was the impact of those ideas? And to answer that, we'll take a look at the opportunity value from ideas that were already shipped and deals that have closed. So this will help us to see the impact we've made to the business and show that, yes, a customer indeed was willing to pay for that feature. So what I'm going to do is clear some of these filters, and I'm going to look at the report from a closed won perspective. Now we know that the opportunity value here is added revenue now that the deal has closed. So it's no longer potential revenue, but concrete revenue. And you can tie it right back to your shipped ideas. So we'll see over here in the shipped column, we have $350,000 in opportunity that was shipped. This is great news because we know the data here is only including our won deals. We can also take a look at details of some of those largest opportunities, and we can maybe expand a few so that we can take a look at the ideas that led to the opportunity closing. Now, on the flip side, what you could also do is take a look at the details of some of these shipped ideas. Let's take a look at this first one, educational content embedded in app. There was a $150,000 deal attached to it, but since that idea shipped and that deal closed, we can make the connection to revenue impact on our roadmap and really celebrate that win. Now, it's also very helpful and insightful to look at some of the opportunities that were perhaps lost. Obviously, you can't build everything that a customer or a prospective customer is asking for, if only we had unlimited resources. But nevertheless, it can be helpful to see the revenue potential lost in order to make more effective prioritizations decisions in the future. So let's reset our stage filter. And let's go ahead and select close lost opportunities. Now we can see over here that there was quite a bit of opportunity in future consideration. This indicates that we were considering to build these features, but we're not able to get to them in time before the deal was lost. And we can also take a look at the opportunity table over here. For example, this live webinar program idea, it was a blocker for this particular opportunity, which was ultimately lost. Now, if you do want to dig more into the details of the opportunity, it's really easy to click on the link here, and it'll take you right to the opportunity in Salesforce. So if you need some additional background on what happened with the particular account. So now we've gone through the entire report. You might be wondering, how do we actually share these insights with our team? Now, there are a few ways that you can actually do this. For those within your account, you could just save this view, make it available to folks within your workspace or account. But if we go to the share button on the right-hand side here, we can see a few more options, including adding it to a presentation or even a whiteboard. But I'm going to show you in a bit more detail how you can share it as a web page. Now, this is a great way to share the report with folks outside your accounts, maybe like sales or leadership. You can click this share as a web page from the menu, and you'll see that we have a few options over here. Now, you can allow folks with links to filter the data. So let's go ahead and include some filters over there. And you can even allow them to see drill-in details based on what you specify. I'm going to turn it on for this demo. It gives you further control over what data they have access to. And once you have this enabled, you can actually go ahead and copy this link and provide it to the people who would benefit from this data. Let me go ahead and quickly preview the report. And this is the same experience that those with the link would see. So you'll be able to share it with them, and they will be able to see all of that important information, including the filter options right at the top. You can click into any of the ideas to get some of that further drill in capabilities. Now, it's worth noting that this is a more streamlined version of what we saw in AHA because we chose to limit the data shown in this view. And this can be a really helpful way to share the report with your sales or your product leadership teams. So we've just covered how to further customize your report with filters in order to answer those important product management questions around impact and how to share it with your stakeholders. Catherine, I thought it'd be great to maybe answer a few questions from our Q&A.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Gary and Kelly. That was a really great demo of how to identify those revenue driving ideas by combining the valuable data from AHA and Salesforce. So we do have some time for Q&A. One great question came in asking if proxy votes can be added by somebody that does not have a paid seat license.
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer that one. So yes, proxy vote can be added by someone who doesn't have a paid seat. They can do it directly via a private ideas portal by logging a proxy vote, or as a sales or support team member, doing it directly within Salesforce and linking those all-important votes to your ideas.
Awesome, thank you. And then, Gary, if you could switch back to the report, could you show whether it's possible to add more than one workspace into the same report, maybe kind of bringing in that portfolio level view?
Yeah, most definitely. So again, really just depends on the level of detail you're looking to view and more importantly, share with the different audiences. And yeah, most definitely through the filtering, you're able to bring in all of that important data, be it around a single product or as you mentioned, Catherine, around the portfolio.
Awesome. Kelly, this might be a good one for you. How can you get sales folks to follow this process?
That is a great question. Change management is always tricky. And I have battled this at other companies in the past, not at AHA, of course. But yeah, it can be really hard to get salespeople to follow this process. And it takes a lot of time. I recommend making it as easy as possible, as few steps as possible. And I really think having them fill out this form in the Salesforce integration is great because it's right in the tool that they're using. You're not asking them to go out to some other website to do this. Keep that proxy vote form, as small as possible, really just capturing that essential information. You can also customize that proxy vote form in the header up top saying like required, you must fill this in, making sure you get the details that you need. But then ultimately, they'll start following the process once they see it working, right? So once you're responding to the ideas and prioritizing things based on revenue, they'll really start to see the value in it, and that'll just encourage them to do it more and more.
Awesome. And I think this is a good one to end on, possibly for you again, Kelly. How would you recommend kind of as a PM balancing kind of the overall product value score with the opportunity value when it comes to thinking about prioritizing different ideas?
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate question, right? It's very tough to know. I mean, you have to consider all these data points, and it's really up to, your business and where your product's at in its life cycle, and what your goals are, how you're going to see that balance. I mean, hopefully you'll find ideas that are both aligned to high value opportunities and aligned to your strategy, right? That's what we all hope, and that's what we should be aiming for. So it's a really that balance, making sure you're considering all those data points, but really in the end, it comes down to, are you aligned on the goals you're trying to achieve?
Definitely. And speaking of, our next tutorial will be focused on strategy and setting goals. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one. But thank you everyone for attending our tutorial today. We hope this really inspired you to review your own Salesforce opportunity report. Thank you so much. Have a great day.